What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Wiley Show. I'm super excited to be back with y'all on this amazing show. Now, I want to read this email. I received an email from a viewer. I want to read it. I'm not going to tell you who sent me the email, but I do want to read it because you never know who is out there watching your show and who are you touching and providing for. Before we get started reading that email, if you want to be notified when we go live, you can just text me at 773-641-8742. I did get an influx of texts, so we will text you when we go live. We will let you know and we will text you. Give me 1 second. We got a phone call. Let's see who this is. Oh Lord. Hello? How they calling me for auto insurance and I ain't got no car? So let me read this email. I was minding my own business, you guys, and I received an email and I want to read it. Give me a second. And excuse the noise because it is thundering outside today. But let's read this email. They said, Dear Wiley, I started listening to you because of my twin sister. Oh, okay. They said, Dear Wiley, I started listening to you because my twin sister really enjoyed listening to you. It was during the time that you had animosity with Armand Wiggins, and he had actually called into your show, and you guys argued for a lot longer than anyone should. I can't say that I was necessarily a fan at the time, but I continued to listen. When you had your manic breakdown, I was scared for your life. I have bipolar as well, and I could tell that your behavior, demeanor, the way that you were speaking to your callers, that you were very deep into a manic episode. And every time you had an encounter with the police, I was scared it would be your I believe it would be your okay. I was so concerned. I left a comment telling you that you needed to seek medical attention. I am glad that you are doing well. I am also glad that you are continuing to do what you love. It is also encouraging that you are open and being mad and because it's absolutely constant for anyone who has bipolar. I was listening to your show yesterday when you were talking about the DL Whisperer, and a caller actually encourage you to talk about mental health more. I am in defiant agreement and full support of that. I would actually love to be a part of that conversation as well because I think it's important for people to see how men can show up being bipolar and how women can show up being bipolar because even though it's the same disease, we present differently. Also, want to extend my condolences to you upon the loss of your grandmother. I know you love and miss her dearly. I am turning 49. All of my grandparents, both of my grandparents are deceased, so I'm well acquainted with grief. Also, that once the funeral is over, people tend to forget about you. So, with that being said, I would like to. She said she was gonna cash out me $25 to spend on your favorite meal, fried chicken. If I could send more, I am on. Okay, I'm not gonna get into all that, but it's just so important that people are sending emails and all this good stuff, and it's very important that we talk about mental health and get and dive into it and take the medicine and all of that good stuff. So even though shout out to me because yesterday we slept really, really good, and it was raining. And I would just remember a time where I wasn't sleeping like that. I was like up for days, cussing people out. It was just a mess. So it's very important to take your medicine. It's very important. I take my Zyprexa every day. It's very important to consider taking your medicine. If you have any doubts or any confusion, go to the nearest emergency rooms. They will help you because by law they have to help you. Another resource that I use is Chat GPT. You could just type into the prompt like, "What is some some mental health services or low cost services?" And you'll be surprised the resources that will come up. But just get the help that you need because it's rough. It's rough out here, and I 1,000% said I have to get the help because I was like, you know, doing it, definitely get the help. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any type of drugs. Only thing that I do is taking the medication I prescribed, and I'm living a healthy life. Now I'm working on getting this weight off, okay? Because I want to get into the gym. Okay? That's the only thing I wish to get into the gym. So I'm definitely going to get into the gym because it's very important. And I thank y'all for coming on the show and showing love. Thank y'all for being here. I'm seeing some familiar faces in here. I told y'all we go live every day. Even if we had to get on here and just sing the Jingle Bell song, we go live every single day. Now, I was minding my own business, and this came up on my timeline. And how about we just play it? Everybody know who Jason Lee is. So if you don't know who Jason Lee is, he is a vice mayor of Stockton, California, and he's in charge of Hollywood Unlocked. Now, we do want to be unblocked this year. Let's put that in the atmosphere. But this is what Jason Lee had to say. We're going to do our commentary on that. So let's play it real quick.
I often say that I'm never judged by the grace that I give. And everybody knows that I have leveled up, that I have leveled out, and that I am doing my best to stay the course and be positive. But what I won't do is let somebody play in my face and think that that grace that I gave is grace that is given forever. I'm still Jason motherfucking Lee. Honorable Jason motherfucking Lee. This past week, I got a cease and desist letter from an athlete, and I won't say the sport denomination because you'll figure it out. But this athlete sent my team at Hollywood Unlocked a cease and desist letter because they don't want my staff writing stories about them and their family. That's all in the news. And I am just taken aback that somebody who has my phone number, who's used it before, and who knows how to reach me, would send me a cease and desist letter. In the 11 years I've owned Hollywood Unlocked, I've never received a cease and desist letter from somebody that I know. So I just want to say that I'm on my best behavior, because when I tell you the total wreckage that I wanted to create on this good internet the other day, I chose not to, because the Lord that I serve knows that I am walking in my purpose right now, and I am really trying to do better. And I blame Kevin Hart for this, because Kevin Hart is the one that made me a softer person. Kevin, this is your fault. But this is what I told my attorney in response to that, because I want to stay the course on this positive approach at leading the culture and leading my city and leading the United States of America. I told my attorney, Walter, I said, Walter, please tell his attorney that I hope this letter is not motivated by me rejecting to spend the night at his house when he invited me a while ago, because he wasn't my type. And I just hope that rejection is not what caused the reaction. Because if you send me a legal notice to not do what my job is to do, then I will send you a retort to say that because I didn't want to come spend the night with you, punk, stop playing with me with the law. Now, I know all of you want to know who this person is, and I'm not into outing people. But you send me another legal notice, you're going to fuck around, and everybody's going to find out. Happy Super Soul Sunday. Walk with God.
So I was doing some digging. So I go in the comments, because I'm not blocked on his Facebook page. Yay! So I was doing some digging. Everybody kept saying Dwight Howard allegedly sent Jason the invitation to go to his house, but Dwight sent him a cease and desist. So I go over there to the neighbor. I go over there to the Hollywood Unlocked to see, did they do some stories about Dwight Howard. They did. They had the baby mama up there. They had some stories about Dwight Howard, and he allegedly sent a cease and desist. And I'm like, to Jason, I'm like, you can come on the Wiley show. We can do an exclusive interview, and you can just expose them. Give us an exclusive. So I'm listening to this, and you have to be very careful, because Jason get invitations from people because he's a blogger. He's light skinned. he lost all that weight, and and you get kind of a little horny, and you be like, oh, come over. But Jason Lee, according to Jason, he refused. Not me, I would have went over there because the white, he looked kind of good. He chocolate or whatever the case may be. And I still identify as straight. Don't play with me. So I would have went over there and I would have went over there and had a good old time with Dwight Howard, and I'm straight. Because I identify as straight. Okay? Those are my thoughts. And so hearing this, I just wonder, why would you send a cease and desist? And people think just because you send a cease and desist, you're going to delete videos. Me personally, I'm going to take it down because I don't want to have to deal with the legal genre, the legal stuff. But Jason have the resources, he have the money, he have the people, he have the lawyers to go after the person, right? But just being shady, said I went to my lawyer and said, I hope this is not pushback for me refuse to come over to his house. Like, what? What? I'm like, that is a mess. So when I saw this down my timeline, I said I have to come on and do the show. Now press 1 if you think it's Dwight Howard. Press 1 if you think the person that he is exposing is Dwight Howard. Press 1. Press 2 is not Dwight Howard. I'm going to send Dwight Howard a voice note. Give me a second. I'm going to be messy. If he still got Instagram, let me send a voice note really quickly. Let me send a voice note here. Okay. I could follow him. Why not? And let me send him a voice note. Hello, Mr. Dwight Howard. This is Mr. Wiley from The Wiley Show. Jason Lee is putting out that you asked him to come over to your house to spend a night and y'all supposed to getting in and doing the nasty. I was wondering, trying to get a statement from you. If you are, listening to this message, can you give me a statement? I'm live on The Wiley Show. You give me a statement, or you can text me directly at 773-641-8742, and we can have a conversation. But I was wondering what made you send Jason Lee a cease and desist, and where Jason was going to be the bottom, or was he was going to be the strict top. He also called you out your name and stuff like this. So just let me know when you get this message. Bye-bye. I left him a voice note because the reason why I left him a voice note is because you go directly to the source. It's no need for me to act like I'm a journalist. And what a journalist do is pick up the phone, call the person, period. If I had Dwight Howard publicist's number, I would call. We're not going to play around with this because cis black women need to know the truth. Is Dwight Howard playing with men? Cis black women need to know the truth. They need to know the truth. There is no need to act like it's a mess. They need to know the truth. Did he want to hop on Jason Lee? They need to know the truth. Okay. I did them all right. Did I do a good job? Did I do a good job right there? Did I do a good job with that? They need to know the truth. And so hearing this, I immediately just started listening and I said, oh my God, this is really weird. And so I just love the content people. This is what I do as a journalist. And I get pushback. I contact, you know, and I told I contact, T.S. Madison and that whole debacle. And you know what I'm saying? I get pushback. But as a journalist, I was trained by Roland Martin to pick up the phone and call. And so that is exactly what I did. I pick up the phone and I call. Now, when I was minding my business and y'all's too, Charleston White goes in on Young Thug. Now, wait a minute. He didn't really like go in on Young Thug. Charleston White is accusing Young Thug of threatening his life. I was reading this on the Media Takeout, and they put out an article, and they said Charleston White is accusing Young Thug of threatening him during a weekend event in Miami, and says that he plans to take legal action. White claims that the incident happened Saturday night at the comedian Drewski Could Have Been Love reunion event. And a video shared on Instagram, White appeared to shot towards Young Thug and several members of his entourage from across the venue. In the caption, the rapper threatened his life. According to White, Young Thug told him, "You're going to lose your life right here." What? White claims the exchange happened on Federal Aviation Administration property in Miami and said he intends to file a police report over what he described as threats. Young Thug got into altercation with Charleston White. Drewski Could Have Been Love Revenge. Charleston White said um, Young Thug threatening him. Give me a second right here. Hold on one second. Where we at? Why is it? Oh, it's a lot of ads on this thing. Hold up. Let me scroll down. Good God. Another video, White accused one member of Young Thug group of carrying a pow and warned he intends to pursue a restraining order. "I fear for my life," White said, adding that he plans to press charges tomorrow and contact federal authorities. Young Thug has not properly responded to the accusation. The allegations could create additional scrutiny from the rapper, who was released from jail in October 2024 after more than 2 years behind bars during the long-running YSL racketeering case. As part of the plea agreement, Young Thug remains under strict probation conditions. They said White directly referenced those legal issues in his videos, suggesting that the alleged confrontation could send Thugger back in jail. White has built a reputation for beefing with a long list of rappers over the years. He has publicly clashed with Soulja Boy, Boosie, Blueface, Kodak Black, Lil Durk, Young Boy, Never Broke Again, The Game, 21 Savage, Young Thug. White had also traded insults with Cameron and Mace and criticizing them online. Let me tell you this. You have to be careful at getting into these beef with people. Definitely be careful. The reason why I feel that Young Thug need to stop because you on strict probation. And this is the thing where I feel like this whole situation with DL Whisper, it's not going to work on probation because what people do, they're trying to get you caught up. This is why when I got out of jail and I was on probation, I barely post on YouTube. Because I didn't want no blogger. I didn't want no crackhead contacting my probation officer. Getting me caught up and me serving prison time. Then I would have to give up these chocolate cakes or these chocolate thighs to the highest bidder in prison. And many people was coming at me saying, "Why don't you do videos like every day?" Because I was afraid. I was afraid of picking a beef with someone and getting thrown back into the slammer. So when you have somebody like Charleston White, a person that do go to 12, go to the popo, he's a popo man. You got to be careful. Get yourself caught up in a case. If I was Young Thug, I wouldn't even hang around people with weapons because if they go down, you going down with them. That's what I have to say. So just stop it. I mean, he's on probation for 10 years, a whole decade. I don't think he's going to be able to survive on probation for a whole decade because already he in some mess, with Charleston White, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm just being real. So you got to be careful. This is why, with this whole situation with the DL Whisperer, I immediately said I don't agree him being on probation that long because he's gonna get himself caught up because you got a lot of forces that want to see you back in jail. And you will have a group of people putting barriers in your back, vibrators in your back, just to get you caught up. Say man and say out, so you have to be very cautious. I'm just saying. I know how it is when you have to check in with your probation office and your heart beating fast because you don't know if you violated or not. I've been there. I've been there. I experienced that. Whether you want to believe it or not, I have experienced that. Say amen and say ouch. And people was coming at me hard saying, when are you, oh my gosh, Wiley, why is he not going live? What's the dealio? I said, I didn't know what to talk about because I didn't want to get myself caught up. So I came back slowly. So as I got on probation, then I can press the gas to go live every day. You know? That was my whole deal. That was my whole prerogative about it. So again, just watch out for Charleston White. Okay, that's just how it happened. Okay, they said, "Why are you yelling at me?" Listen, with love, I'm not yelling. I'm just passionate. I'm just passionate with love. I'm just passionate. Is that all right? I'm just passionate. I'm just passionate. I'm just keeping it real. So when I saw that, I said, okay, here we go. Then I was over there with Roland Martin show. I was over there with Roland Martin. Baby, Roland did a masterclass. If you have not heard, Nick Cannon said that the Democratic Party founded the KKK. And Roland, to sum up what Roland said, you had racist Southern Democrats like you had racist Southern Republicans. This is not about one party was more racist than other. It was about racism exists in the Republican Party, racism exists in the Democratic Party, racism exists. And what I'm about to read a book about the caste system. Shout out to the caste system. I don't really necessarily think it's about race. I think it's just a caste system that they put poor, black, poor, Latinos, poor, Puerto Ricans. I believe it's a caste system. I also believe that we need to stop looking up to these celebrities as being a activist or being a voice of the people. Even Brother Malcolm X spoke against that as well. So when he put it out there, and I'm like, and then you also got to put yourself like this, and this is how I'm going to vote in the midterms. Which party is going to help me to provide for myself and my family and my niece and nephew's future? As of right now, the current Democratic Party are more in line with my values. Majority of my values. What do I stand up for? I believe that we should not put all these unnecessary rules on food stamp and Medicaid. I believe that's wrong. I believe that when people that's on food stamps, they own it for a reason. And I honestly believe more people need to be on the services because food is just too damn high. I also believe that when it comes to healthcare, that the Affordable Care Act is a good first step. There has been Democrats that's been posing bills to strengthen the Affordable Care Act. not the Republicans, because the Republicans, they want to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. I also align with making voting a national holiday and make it easy for people to vote. Democrats stand for that. Republicans don't. When it comes to reparations, everybody with the reparations, Democrats have proposed bills on this idea of reparation. Republicans are totally against it. I'm just giving you my reasons here. So the current party right now, I'm siding with the Democrats. Now, when Roland Post did that breakdown, he put it out that it was racism on both parties. It wasn't just one party was racist, the other party wasn't. If you go back in the day, both parties, a sector of both parties, were racist towards black folks. It wasn't just Democrats, Southern Democrats. There also was racist Republicans. Just go and look at the history of the presidents. Period. No, what I'm saying is, because I hear people what you're saying. There is corporate tax breaks for all these billionaires. Why can't the working class get a break? The working class, the janitors, the caregivers, the nurses. You have corporate billionaires getting massive tax breaks, taking home billions. And the poor working class is getting screwed. I'm tired of that. And then you get somebody like Nick Cannon, who is rich, trying to talk and speak against him, and I'm glad he exposed that he voted for. Like Chili, I ain't going to no TLC concert. You donate to Trump, and then you lied about it. Tell the truth. Stand 10 toes down on it. Why are you acting like you didn't vote for him? Why are you acting like you didn't send no money towards him? Just stand 10 toes down. Liar! You sitting there lying. I was just scrolling and I did a repo. When you scroll on Instagram, you intentionally post that about Michelle Obama. You did that. So sit down and shut up. Nick Cannon, you a fool. When they counsel you, when you went against a group of people, it was the black community that stood behind your black behind. It was the black community said, put Nick Cannon back on the air. The black working class. Trump have done good with the immigrants, I do believe. They need to be deported if you are a criminal. They need to be deported if you came here illegally. But I also believe there needs to be comprehensive immigration. Democrats put that on the table. It was Trump said, don't vote for it. So we got to do our history here. This Republican Party have fired so many black women. This Republican Party and the Department of Defense don't even want to give promotion to black people that is qualified for it. I'm sorry. They are trying to erase black history. Black history is American history. Because they know the more we talk about black history, the more we know we are guilty. Even women, it was a sister, she was black. She went to the hospital, she was having so many issues and problems. They just told, oh, you is not pregnant, it might be a miscarriage or whatever, sent her on some Tylenol because doctors are afraid of caring for women with pregnancies and trying to turn because of the strict abortion laws that's in the state of Louisiana. So it's a lot of things that are going on. And I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. So you're going to be seeing me campaigning for the right people that want to do right by the poor and working class, because we're getting screwed. They said my daughter didn't even know what a slave was to this year. See? They didn't teach it like that anymore. I had to tell her what it was. Yes, parents, you got to teach your children about history. I was at the public library yesterday. Now, mind you, I had to give me a lift to the public library to give me some books. I was patient because it was this black woman and her two kids, baby, they had stacks of books. I was gonna be upset, but I was happy because I said, this is what you have to do. When the last time you took your child to the public library and bought them books and y'all sat and y'all read? When the last time y'all had like a reading session? Not a reading session watching the Real Housewives and you reading Roasting the Gagger. I'm talking about a reading session when you on the recliner reading the book, when this person is reading the book and y'all just sit read, then y'all talk about the book as a family. You got to read. You got to study. Don't be stupid on purpose. They have so many public libraries, and you can put a book in a request, and you can request to say to your public library, hey, can you purchase this book? I'm just saying. Read is important. Now, I am reading Brandy book. Hey! I'm reading Brandy book because it was automatically in my Spotify package. So I'm reading the audiobook. I do want the physical copy of it. I do want the physical copy of it. The physical copy of it. So y'all donate so I get the physical copy of it. But I am reading it. I'm on chapter 1 because when the book came out last night, I was tired. So I did read chapter 1. I did listen to chapter 1. So I'm gonna listen to some more chapters because I was tired. That book didn't drop until like 1 in the morning. And I said, I gotta give me some rest. But it was good. I'm loving hearing Brandy in my ear. That's amazing. I love audiobooks. Also love physical books. Right now, I checked out 16 books in the public library. Especially when I have the house to myself, I get on the couch and I sit and I read. And I love it because you want to know what is going on. And then you never know. You might be on a show, you gotta talk about a certain topic, but because you did your research, it's great. Yeah. She reads, but they don't teach about slavery. Like, no, they're not gonna teach about it. That's why you have to teach your child at home. These schools, they're pulling away from Black history. They're pulling away from all of that stuff. So you, as a parent, you have to go to the public library or Barnes and Noble or a Black bookstore and read and do book reports. Okay, today we're going to talk about Dr. King. Today we're going to talk about Sally Muhammad. Today we're going to talk about W.B. Du Bois. We're going to talk about these people. We're going to talk about Dr. King, not just I Have a Dream, but everything that he stood for. We're going to talk about, I have read a book about Reverend Jesse Jackson. Shout out to Abby Phillip. She wrote a book, and there was some good tea about that. And I didn't even know half the stuff was going on. You know why I know about it now? Because I read the book. You got to read. You got the books there, and then you do a book report and read around your children. This is why we talk about books all the time on this show. Reading is important. It's so important. And parents, y'all need to be a part of the parent teacher conference and being on the board, the what do they call that? The school boards. Don't just be at home eating chicken. You need to be very active in your child's school. And you tell them to change the coursework back to teach about Black history. But if you stand at home and you act like you don't know what's going on, then you're going to get what you're going to get. I'm just saying. And I don't get me wrong, I love to read because I get and I read is really really good. I love reading stories, especially autobiographies. Love autobiographies. Love it. Oh yeah, that's all right. See that? See, yeah, Virginia is something else. That's why I love Chicago. Virginia is something else, but I love Virginia. Even though I got robbed in Portsmouth, Virginia, I got robbed at the 7-Eleven. I ain't gonna. I got robbed at 7-Eleven, and he wanted some Black and Mounds. I gave him a whole rack of them Black and Mounds. Yes, I surely did. I got robbed at that 7-Eleven. I was so afraid to go back to work and stuff like that. That was way, way back in the day and stuff like that. That was way, way back. And I said, listen, I grew up in Inglewood. At that time, I never was robbed in Inglewood until like years later. I was robbed in Roseland, in Chicago, on my way home. Got off the wrong stop. It was a big thing. I got robbed. It's how you gonna be on my side, not Portsmouth. Yeah, see, I was robbed in Portsmouth at that 7-Eleven right on Churchland Boulevard. Hope I'm saying it right. It's not too far from the new community Church of God of Christ. It's not too far on Churchland Boulevard. It was a 7-Eleven right there, and I got robbed. It was a fat we had a fat manager. She was a fat woman. And she pretty much was trying to blame me. I'm like, listen, I dropped all the big bills. He ain't walk away with nothing but like $30. Because every big bill we get, we have to drop it in the safe. So he walked around, but he did walk around with some Black and Miles. Yeah, we was robbed. And then my coworker, she was in the freezer. I said, please don't come out and scare this man. And he, get me together. I was out there because my friend, he moved out there, the one that violated my sister. If I had got out of the military, and at that time I had like $2,000 in my bank account or whatever. I think it was like 2 grand. So I get on the Greyhound. My grandmother took me to the bus station, and I moved to Virginia. I didn't tell nobody. Only person I told was my grandmother. My grandmother didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell my uncle or nothing. Went to Virginia. And then it was this fat gay man and my friend, at the one that violated my sister. He was my friend then. I didn't know he violated my sister then. He came and picked me up from the Greyhound bus station. Very feminine, not my friend, but the person that he was with. Fat, crusty, fat, feminine. And they came and picked me up from the bus station. This was like years ago. And and then he had hooked me up because the fat manager wanted to sleep with my friend. So she hired me to work at 7-Eleven. Yeah, she hired me to work at 7-Eleven. And so I was hired at 7-Eleven because at that time, um, the one that violated my sister, he was working at Burger King. And I was flirting with his manager because his manager was attractive. He was an attractive guy at the time. So I was flirting with him and everything. But I wanted to work at Burger King, but they already had like a full staff. So I was working at 7-Eleven and I had to work the overnight shift. And I didn't mind it because I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. This is Virginia. Ain't nothing. What could go wrong with this little hick town? I thought. And of course, it was a Black African American. Um, he robbed me. He robbed the store, but I was the cashier, and it just scared me. It scared me, and I said I gotta leave. And then once I left that job, I was just looking for jobs. I was looking at the cleaners. I was just going to different places looking for a job or whatever, and couldn't find one. And I said, I'm going back home to Chicago. This is not for me. So I went back home to Chicago, and that's the end of that story. Yeah, yeah. But that happened in Portsmouth, Virginia. That's what it happened. And I didn't know it was the hood because again, I'm not from Virginia, Portsmouth, Virginia. I don't know, so I didn't know that was the hood. It didn't look like the hood. It didn't look like Chicago hood. It was clean. I didn't see no thugs. I didn't see no gang members. You know what I'm saying? To me, it didn't look like the hood. It looked really nice. We had a nice apartment. And my friend had a nice apartment, and it was like people from the Navy that was living there. So it was like a bad neighborhood. It didn't look like it. It didn't look like a bad neighborhood. So it just didn't look like a bad neighborhood. So I went there, so like that. And then my friend or whatever, we he was with this girl at the church, one of the deacon's daughters, and then she came over, and then she brought her fat friend over, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with her. She fat," and I made her cry. Oh, she was crying. She ran out crying. So then I have to apologize because I'm like, "Oh, she got a car." So, this can be my girlfriend. She can be driving me around. She had a car and everything. And mind you, I ain't had no car or nothing. So the next time they came over, I was ready. I was ready for her. Kissing her, we doing all this, kissing all around, having a good time. And then my friend, the one that violated my sister, I didn't know he violated back then, but yeah. Anyway, he came out of the room, said, "Oh, let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on." And I was this close to just going all the way in. And at the time, I didn't have no protection, none of that, because I'm just young and dumb. I was in my early 20s, and yeah, and so he was like, "Oh, that's my friend. That's all." I'm like, "Why you interrupt me?" I was ready because I'm like, whatever. She got her car. She got a car, whatever, and she would bring me ice cream and snacks and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, so this is a vibe. Let me eat a box or whatever. I didn't even know how to eat a box. I still don't, but I was gonna do it that day. Anyway, that happened in Portsmouth, Virginia. That's when I was in my early 20s. That's when I was in my early 20s. I was in my early 20s. Yeah, that was way, way back in the day. Uh those are memories. But we moving on. And she was spawning and growing, and I'm like, "Oh, this is nice." I'm probably got to put her in the book. It's just she could have been wifey. She had her own car, smelled good, and she was beautiful, brown skin. Well, she was just fat, and I didn't like fat girls. I thought, and I always would attract fat girls. Even in high school, I had a fat girlfriend or whatever, and she was nice to me, but I was ashamed of her. And I hope she don't show up to the family. I mean, not the family reunion, the class reunion and stuff like that. She probably got kids and everything. But anyway, but I was like tall and skinny back then. I always would attract fat women and all that good stuff. But that was back in the past, that was in my past or whatever. I don't even know why I even shared this story. But again, I didn't know Portsmouth, Virginia was like something. They said Yuki said she had her own car. I'm not lying. That woman had her own car. And I didn't have a car. Neither did my friend that violated my sister. I didn't know he had a car. So I was like, oh my gosh. So this can actually work in my favor, in my mind. And so I did what I had to do or whatever. That was back in the day. That was back in the day. Now I have more respect. I don't judge women how they look on the outside. I judge you how you look on the inside. Right. And I show love and respect or whatever. I don't care shape or shine and stuff like that. So she did have it was a nice, I forgot what kind of car, but I know it was a 4-door. It was nice, it was clean, it was nice or whatever. And it's dope. I ain't gonna even lie or whatever. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. I forgot her name. I forgot her name. But anyway, like I never went to Virginia Beach. I never did any of that. I was just in Portsmouth, and I didn't even really stay a long time in Virginia. Too, I left. I was probably in Virginia for like a couple of months. I didn't stay long. I will go back in Virginia. Um, One of these days I do want to visit and go back and go to the church that I was at, but I haven't went to Virginia in like years. It's been almost a decade or more since I've been in Virginia. Because again, I was in Virginia when I was in my early 20s. I was what 20. Dang, how old was I? I was in my early 20s. I really was. Um, They said Mrs. Wiley got to do. I have to be dressed head to toe, cook, clean, do everything else. She said, "Yes, definitely, head to toe, cook and clean." They said you going to Portsmouth, Virginia? Yeah. Oh, you not going to Portsmouth? I thought you said you will. Well, we gotta go to the church, Sasha. We gotta go to the church, and it's in Portsmouth. It's in Portsmouth, Virginia. And then I want to go back to my old apartment. Then I want to go to that 7-Eleven. I just want to go. I want to take pictures and all that good stuff. Yeah, but when I get it together, we definitely gonna go. Why not? Okay, we definitely are gonna go. Why not? It's definitely gonna be fun. Okay, now we got somebody posted the DL Whisperer. Um, somebody posted DL Whisperer court documents. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, let me go to it and find it. So I was minding my own business, and shout out to that page, the Whisper page. So I'm listening that they have that the petitioner lives in DeKalb, and also they were saying that how she posted his address. Now he stay in that Gilmer County situation, and this is all like public. I'm not gonna post like his address or whatever the case may be, but I do want to read what T.S. Madison wrote to the court. I want to read it directly, and this is probably why he's still locked up, because she wrote something on here, and I want to read it to you guys if I can find it. They post his name, they post his address, they have all on the court documents, and I can't share it because it's showing his address, it's showing T.S. Madison address, it's even showing his apartment number. Now, give me a second. Where's the document where she wrote? Okay, here we go. She said, "My name is T.S. Madison, and I'm submitting this statement to explain in my own words what I have experienced with an individual who operates online under the name DL Whisperer. Why I am in fear for my safety and my safety of my household for an extended period of time. This individual has targeted me online with harassment, fixation, and increasingly hostile behavior. I did not have any personal relationship with him. I have never engaged with him privately. Despite this, he repeatedly posted about me online, spreading false narrative, threatening my life, attempting to expose my personal information, and encourage intimidation. His behavior became obsessive, increasingly. Want to make sure that increasingly aggressive. Over time, his posts have escalated in tone and content. He referenced my location publicly and made statements implying violence and deletion, and stated that he would confront me in real life as a woman, and especially as a trans woman. Oh, she put that in there. I understand their statements. I understand these statements as credible threats. They created fear in a sense that my personal safety was at risk. This is what she wrote. On the morning of January the 23rd, 2026, his behavior escalated online harassment into real world intimidation at my home. She posts where her home is at. That morning, the individual drove past my residency 3 separate times. Security footage captured the vehicle direction at approximately 9:33 a.m., 9:54 a.m., 10:51 a.m. During these drive-bys, he yelled from his vehicle, demanding that I come outside. This was not a single pass or by coincidence. It was repeated, deliberate, and intimidating. In addition to physically coming near my home, the individual live streamed and recorded himself that same day, posting content online showing that he was in the area of my residency. He publicly stated that he had been there for 5 hours and also stated he will return, knowing that someone was repeatedly driving past my home, documented and broadcasted it to others, announcing intentions to come back, calls me extreme fear and distress. My home supposed to be a place of safety, instead became a location of surveillance and intimidation. I felt trapped inside my own home, afraid to leave, afraid to respond, afraid of what could happen next. The fact that he chose to turn this into online content made the situation feel even more dangerous. It has showed the willingness to escalate and seek attention through confrontation. The situation is especially frightening because my elderly mother, Miss Mary, lives in the home with me. She is a senior citizen, and she should not be placed in danger due to someone else fixation on me, and actions endanger not only me but her as well. As a result of this behavior, I have experienced a significant emotional distress. I feel anxious and hyper aware of my surroundings. I fear that he may return as he publicly stated he would. I do not feel safe in my own home. This is not online drama or a misunderstanding. This is a pattern of harassment that escalated to real world intimidation at my residency. I am requested protection now because I do not want to wait until something happens. I am asking the court to intervene to establish clear boundaries to prevent further contact, surveillance, or intimidation. I am genuinely afraid for my safety and the safety of my household. That is what she wrote to the court. That is what she said to the court. And on February 3rd, he was ordered to stay away from her. So she didn't play. She played to the courts. Now, when I went to the DL Whisperer page, they were saying that uh, this blog that posted his court documents uh, was photoshopping the documents. But that's not the case because we reached out to some people. They said T.S. Madison did send this to the court that she feared for her life. Um, So again, someone posted under there. They said, "Look at the screenshot posted just now." So T.S. Madison discovered DL Whisperer was continuing to stalk him, but actually continued stalking the DL Whisperer. The DL Whisperer is allowed to post about suspected fraud. Anyone else? A lot of scammers. Okay, that they're saying about the scammer, but then on these court documents, she posted his tweets. Let me scroll down. She posted. They got Exhibit B, and this is what DL Whisperer said. He said, "Imagine having to drive an hour and 30 minutes to file a PTO." They said they posted that. They also posted a tweet where he said, is it really your home if you do a reverse mortgage and then donate it so that it could be paid off by someone else, literally not yours?" That's what the DL Whisperer said. Then the DL Whisperer said, reposted in his Instagram story, Tasha K. And this is what Tasha K said. The F men are jealous of the DL Whisperer, sudden rise to fame. His social media impact needs to be studied. Anything he can't post, I will. Ain't no restraining order on me. It's always up. That's what Tasha K said on February the 12th, 2026. Then the DL Whisperer posted the court documents with the restraining order and said, "For clarity, a DeKalb County judge have granted a temporary protective order for my personal safety. This is a court decision. I will allow the legal process to proceed. Thank you for your support." So he posted that when he had got a temporary restraining order. Then T.S. Madison posted this to the court. Now imagine NAESM taking their government funds and giving them to another nonprofit that is a board member operates. This is given fraudulent. And he posted a snippet from Chat GPT. Then they posted a DL Whisperer said, "Oh, also, folks, let's do some math. If I buy a home for 1.2 million, but they're appraised at 550,000, I would have to pay more than 700,000 upfront because the home owned would not cover the 1.2 million because they are going off what the house is worth." So this is how scammers and people doing fraud more. It's obvious bad credit involved. Then the DL Whisperer said only a scammer would pay 1.2 million for a home appraised at 500,000. Let's talk about interest. I I would much rather make a bad car purchase than a home that you would be paying for. Then they posted the DL Whisperer said that only a scammer would pay 1.2 million for a home and praise 500,000. Let's talk about interest. I would much rather make a bad car purchase than a home that you'll be paying for 360 months. I think someone is scamming. Then they said hashtag the DL Whisperer, hashtag TH Madison. And then they posted the home. She posted the home. She posted this is all of the exhibits here. So she wasn't playing. Like everything that he posted about her, she posted to the courts there. And they also the sheriff have served him with paperwork. They posted that as well. They said I would check it out again. You might be taking more local. Okay. They said this is where I don't even like to drive that long. I get anxious. I'm sorry, but this is a lot from a person who used to turn tricks at home. That is what they said in the comments there. I will open up the phone line. Do y'all want the phone lines open up? Let's open up the phone lines. That is the comments that they wrote on there. Give me a second and I'll get the phone lines if y'all want to call in. Well, T.S. Madison had every right. She did it the legal way. If you want to do it the legal way, you do it the way that T.S. Madison. This is a clear case of how to get a stalker off of you, if that was what it is. Um, So she went through the courts, and while going through the courts, that is what she did. She did it the legal way. 972-674-9462. Again, the DL Whisperer is still locked up. We still haven't gotten any updates or any up some more court documents. I did read you what T.S. Madison wrote to the court, read that, but we also still waiting on the courts to give us a response for what else was said in court. So I'm trying to get those transcripts so we can read it to you all on the show. But this is breaking news that T.S. Madison wrote that to the court, and you see why he's still currently locked up. I don't have Dominique stuff. This is all T.S. Madison stuff because he also have two restraining orders against him. He have one from T.S. Madison. He also have one against Dominique. Also have one against him as well. And so that is what we have to say. And I appreciate if you all will take this serious and know that you can't be driving around somebody's house and doing all that crazy stuff because you will get caught up. She said I used to do that in the past. No one need to fear for their life. And T.S. Madison did a lot of stuff in her past, but she's good. She haven't done any of that stuff in a long time. Yeah, she haven't done any of that in a long time. So just because her past, well, we're talking about her current situation. Right now, she is an activist and she is a media personality, and she do a lot to help her community. And she have to do everything to protect the safety of her mother and also herself. She did everything right, and I think with the DL Whisperer, he did everything wrong. Oh, somebody called in. Give me a second. Let's call it back. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Oh,
Can you hear me?
can you hear me? I'm on the house phone.
Oh, okay. Because I had it on Do Not Disturb by accident. But go
Hold
ahead.
on,
What was
Tay
your thought?
trying to be nosy, so it was on speakerphone. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I was working and I had a question while you said what you were saying. So they said he drove by her house January 23rd. She issued a restraining order in February. So then when did he violate it?
I don't have that information of when he violated.
Or
Because
maybe it was the
this is just showing like
intoxicated.
all the stuff she filed to get the restraining order and stuff like that. I don't have the date of when he violated. I don't have the court documents. People keep saying it was right after Tasha K did that video exposing
Mhm.
T.S. Madison. Let me go to her page. When she said T.S. Criminal charges or an indictment is coming, that video was let me go back on her page and see when that actual video actually happened. Um, I'm scrolling down here. So this probably had to be a month ago. Let's see. Okay, that was 1 month ago. And in that video, it was
Mhm.
entitled Explosive T.S. Madison Pending Indictment Receipts. That video got 200,000 views, and that was on February the 13th. So I'm assuming that he
Mm.
violated after when he did the repost of February the 13th.
And what date did you read in February that she released it?
That date that I read in February was, oh, let me go back. Oh, I should have downloaded it on my phone. Hold on, I'm going back right here. This was February. So this was great February the 3rd. So I'm looking at February the 3rd. So I'm
Oh,
assuming
okay.
like once Tasha K did that video on February
Mhm.
the 13th, that's when she probably got him as a violation because he reposted and did a hashtag, and that's when she reported it and got him arrested.
Oh, okay. So that's probably what it was. Okay,
That's
thank
probably what
you.
because everybody kept saying it. So I was trying to take the danger out. That's a good point that you
Mhm.
made. And I was like, oh, that's when the time with it. And that video that Tasha K did over 200,000 views.
Yeah, so I guess yeah, we see why they saying Tasha K need to help because if she did that on the third, we don't know when he recorded the interview because you know Tasha K could have recorded the interview a long time ago, but you still released it if you knew he had a restraining order. That's a whole nother thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so another thing, and of course I'm trying to get the court documents, but this county they want $61 to get these court documents. I said, child, it ain't that important.
It ain't free. You can't go on like the state website.
No, you got to pay it from the clerk. Because I was trying
Mm-mm.
to look to do it for free and I couldn't find it. They was like regular. I put my request in on the 30th, which was yesterday, and they said the final cost is $61.58. No, it ain't worth it. I'll wait till another blog
Yeah.
and get it. I'm like, child, that county is a mess. But he's still locked up, and I'm trying to see because I did hear that he did refuse the deal. He don't want to take the deal or probation.
Mm.
5 years. Let me go back to it.
I
He
don't
said
care about talking to somebody or talking about somebody. If 5 years, okay, whatever. I'm not sitting in jail for that. And you can't eat, right? So you want to get out. You're gonna lose your apartment. Just stop. She not worth it, bro.
facts is definitely not worth it. And then they posted on the DL Whisperer. They said I interviewed him. This is a blogger, a website. What's the name of the website? Blacknewsdaily.com. They had a headline. They said I interviewed him months ago. Now the DL Whisperer is locked up in Georgia with no bond, and his life could be in danger. That is a post that they wrote
Mm.
on the Black Daily News.
It's not in danger enough because he revoking the plea deal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They also have a call to action. They want people to call the jail. They were saying in this article they said he was protecting black women. They said black women are showing up loud, and they said now he's locked up and supporters are demanding answers. But he definitely don't have a bond. But if it is true that they offer him 5 years probation, I would take that deal.
Yeah, I
Especially
would
if you
too.
have already lost weight and you're going through like in your body with like losing weight and not eating properly, and then going to the whole solitary confinement. Listen, I was just
And I
going to
want to
take that
keep my
deal.
apartment. Like
What
they're
would you
gonna
say?
throw all your stuff out too, cause you ain't paying the rent. Ain't nobody else gonna pay your rent.
That's true. And then again, he already missed March 1st rent, and we about to be in April 1st.
Yeah, and once you get to that second month, you be lucky. Cause I know my apartment building, they'll put that note on your door after the fifth and say if you don't pay it by 2 weeks, we gonna put your stuff out.
Yeah, they do it really quick. They don't wait till like 6 months.
Yeah, but thanks for reading that again.
No,
Let
thank
me get
you.
back to
Thank you so
work.
very much.
All right.
All right. Hello, you live on the Wiley Show.
Hey Wiley, how are you? This is Queen Tulsa. I'll be quick. I just wanted to say whether I don't think that oh my God, I don't think people are really understanding what's going on. This guy drove 2 hours. He had plenty of time to rethink his actions. What he did was he was doing it for entertainment and he thought the people were really with him. And I think this is just a case of FAFO. He F around and found out, you know? And when you take it from just Madison, now you're adding elderly, that's elderly abuse. And um I just feel like with his past, he had a past. He didn't just wake up one day and said, "Oh, I like to go after people." He's got a reputation, but once things like kind of dazzle down, he picks something else. And I feel like his weight loss, his bond, I wouldn't want an individual like that out on the streets. He said what he will do, how he will do it, and we've had too many people taking out schools and churches. Nobody, no, I'm not in 2026. I'm not standing for it. I'm never going to be okay with it. And he needs to stand there as long as time permits.
All right. Thank you so much for your
Thank
comment.
you.
Thank you. Another story that I told y'all I forgot to talk about, but I'm definitely going to dive into it. Talk about. Did y'all hear about the Chicago Bulls? One of their players. What was the name of the player? Give me a second. He did a video, and he pretty much was saying what gays, the NBA shouldn't be doing, Pride Night, and he got removed from the Chicago Bulls. He was a player, and again, I don't know him because again, I don't watch. I haven't really watched the Bulls. Yeah, Jane and Ivory. Um, he did a post and he was saying that gay people are going. It's not good. You can go to hell. So they fired him. And I want to give my commentary for it. You have to know the things that you say that there are consequences. Anybody with common sense would know that if you're speaking against the LGBT community and you are part of a brand that have a lot of gay fans and they have sponsors, you're going to get fired. That's not the time for you to be telling me what you really believe in if you want to stay and play in the NBA. Now, if you don't want to play in the NBA anymore, you done, you retired, then okay, I can understand you standing up for your rights and stuff like that. But you have to be very cautious of what to say, speaking about that community, because the LGBTQ community is a protected class, and also your sponsors that is a part of the Chicago Bulls. And what cisgender people have to understand, it's not good to work for an organization and then you want to speak against the LGBT community because there will be repercussions that you could get fired. Now, there is a such thing as freedom of speech. He wasn't arrested for his freedom of speech. He was arrested for what he said. So let's see if we can play the clip.
Team. They said my conduct is detrimental to the team, right? Why didn't they just say we don't agree with his stance on LGBTQ? Why didn't they say that? Well, how is it conduct detrimental to the team? What did I do to the team? What did I do to the players?
I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. Said good job, good shot. I said, good job, good pass. Way to play, bro. Right? I said these things to my teammates. Was never detrimental to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because I believe in the truth. I know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. These things will happen in the Word of God. They hated Jesus Christ. They said my conduct is detrimental to the team. That the world can proclaim LGBTQ, right? They proclaim Pride Month in the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that this man is crazy? That the world can proclaim.
And he was released from the Chicago Bulls. Again, he did have an injury too. They also said he was abusive to his children. But the Bulls wrote a statement. They said the Chicago Bulls announced today that the team has waived guard Jaden Ivey due to conduct detrimental to the team. Also, there are some tweets here. They said, so if players disagree with the Pride Month is conduct, they get fired. How's this Christian? So that's what people were saying. And again, we will keep y'all updated on this story. But you have to be careful of the things you say if you want to be in the business. If you want to be successful in basketball and have a successful career, you can't be out there speaking against the community, saying the community is unrighteous, this and stuff like that. You just can't. It don't make sense. But if you want, if that's your core belief, then it's best for you not to even work in that type of world, because that world will always uplift and do Pride Night and LGBT friendly events, and so that's what it is. It said they said he makes too much money to do something dumb. We all got jobs. We don't speak crazy. You have to be very cautious of it when you speak like that. You have to be very cautious of it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you are a public figure, because you could get removed. And when you get removed from I'm hearing that they still got to pay him the $10 million. Allegedly, that's what I heard. So I will keep you updated on all that. But do y'all think he should have been removed? I would love to hear y'all thoughts. Do y'all think he should have been fired from the Bulls? Me personally, I don't think he should be fired, because that's his personal belief, and I don't think he should be fired. I don't want people to lose their job because he believed in his religious belief, and he got Bible scriptures that can back up his belief. So I don't believe he should be fired. But I'm not the owner. I believe he should not be fired for giving his opinion. It didn't harm anyone. He just gave his thoughts, and I don't think he should be fired. It was somebody else that had comments that was defamatory, that got the guy that was on. Damn, what was the name of this guy? He was on. It was, I forgot the show that he was on. It's a Tyler Perry show, Beauty and Black, and he was saying something against the LGBT community, and they got him together, and he had to apologize. But I do believe he believed in that. You know, you got a lot of people that believe that that's have religious beliefs about the LGBT community. You know, but I don't think he should lose his job. That's just me. You know, I'm not an owner, you know what I'm saying? But I don't believe he should have like lost his job because of his comments. They said, speaking up for God, the one who gave you breath, wake you up every day, is wrong for speaking up. I do believe he should still be working for the Bulls. That's just my personal belief. I believe that. But again, this is the real world, and I'm not shocked that he's fired. I'm not shocked they fired him. I'm not shocked that he got fired. And the reason why I'm not shocked that he got fired, because if you do something crazy, you should get fired. Like drinking and driving, I think you need to get fired. Whipping on women, you should get fired for that. But speaking up for the gospel, I don't think you should get fired. In my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. So, but I understand what people have their thoughts. You got to be careful, all right? Thank you all for tuning into the Wiley Show. Again, if you want to be notified when we go live, you can text us at 773-641-8742. Also, if you want to contribute to the show, you go to Wiley Show at Wiley Show 1990. That's $ Wiley Show 1990. We also have an Amazon wish list, and I posted it, and I'll share it and I'll drop it in again. Give me a second. So the people in here, because we gotta make our announcements. We got to. Let's see if we can go to it. Give me a second. Where are we at right now? Let me see something real quick. So I can bring up the wish list. Where are we at? I put the number in. I do see y'all have sent text in here, so I appreciate that. And I will put up the wish list again. Let's put up the wish list. Show that, and I know the moderators are posted in the chat as well. Also, we will be doing members only. We'll be talking about branding book and other things, but we have the microphone on here. We also have the HDMI live stream switcher. We also have the headphones in here as well. So we need these items. If you all can contribute and help us out, please do so. Again, I will drop it in the comments here if you can help us on the wish list, and it will be greatly appreciated. And I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Definitely do that. And thank you all so very much for y'all support. And we're going to bring the show to a close. Thank you so very much. Little black boy, you beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times get hard, always remember to put God first. And we will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all so very much. I need y'all to comment on these videos. So when this video is over, I should be seeing 74 comments. How we doing with the likes, moderators? Let me know how we doing with the likes. Because we should have at least 67 likes. How we doing with the likes? I'm going to wait till the moderators to tell me how they doing with the likes before we get up out of here. How we doing with the likes? All right, that was good. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all have a beautiful night. At 3:42 p.m., according to the website.
Okay, so here, and you'll see like a lot of places, a lot of bond places will not bond her out if she has a current insufficient bond.
Really? So what does that mean? So she will have to stay? What? Can you break that down for me? Because I'm not understanding.
So I mean, there are some bondsmen that will work with that, and they'll be like, okay, cool, like, and they'll charge you an extra fee. It's not going to be cheap to get her out.
Really? So it's okay. So the $2,500, that's not really $2,500 or on your system?
Okay, so if her bond is if her full bond is $2,500.
Yeah, because I'm looking. Hold on, let me see. Let me go on. Let me look on the website because I'm just judging it on the website here. I always say $21,500.
Okay, so at $21,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
Divide that by 10, $2,150. A lot of places charge $100 filing fee.
Okay.
So you're looking at $2,250 to get her out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she's insufficient with her bond, that means that she owes money to her bond company.
Oh.
So you're going to have to go, your best bet would be is to go back through the same bond company that she has, pay off the remaining balance, and then pay the bond that it's going to cost to get her out, because they might charge a little cheaper and take that charge off.
Wow, dude, I don't even know where she went because this is like an auntie of mine. I'm just confused. I have my credit card, my money ready. Wow, do you have any sense of where she was at previously or no?
No.
But you all for a fact can't bail her, can't do it at all.
Our bondsmen won't do it if they've had any insufficient bonds for the last 3 years.
So yeah, we definitely need the equipment. You see how we had that equipment together? So we definitely need that equipment. All right. Y'all need to like the video. Thank y'all. Like the video. We should at least have 50 likes up in here. Okay? Talk to y'all soon. Peace.